It's time for another Power Play show with Coach Frenchy, Andrew Lepage, ENORTAP, and Michael DeVillano. It's time, Power Play show. Here we go. We are back for another special edition of the Power Play show with the co-host, Coach Frenchy, directly for the beautiful Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to go all the way in Toronto, Ontario to find Mr. ENORTAP in the house.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Hockey Nation.
Welcome back, July 28, 2022. Happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Hopefully an amazing, great day, Mr. ENORTAP. What happening to your life today?
Today, very busy. Driving all over the city today.
How's the weather over there? How's the traffic? And what's going on in July in Toronto?
Traffic, sorry, is always horrible. The weather was not too bad. About 24, 25 today. And and that's about it. And we're back at it tonight. That's my favorite part of the day.
That's the best part of my day, of course, Mr. ENORTAP. When we see you in the screen, we are happy. You bring happiness, the joy, and the love about the hockey. So nothing better to sit beside you. Maybe 900 miles, but still, I'm beside you, honestly. And talking about hockey, that's the best thing what happened tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. We have a special show tonight about, let's see what we're going to talk about. The NHL Best and Worst Contract 2022. So for the upcoming year, the players right now we have a contract. They don't have to be signed this summer. They can be signed 7 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever who they are. So they are the best and the worst contract. We'll talk about this, Mr. ENORTAP. You're going to tell us what you think about those kind of contracts. And then we're going to, before that, we're going to talk about the NHL news. We have a couple of news around the NHL today happening. Signature, Montreal hire someone. I want to get you what you think about this. And then finally, after that, we're going to answer the question. We're going to fly this for a 90-minute tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. And at the end, 5 questions. Tonight, it's all about the NCAA players draft and NHL since 1963. Great question. They are easy, number 1. Number 2, a little bit difficult, number 3. 4 and 5, good luck. But that's another subject for another time, Mr. ENORTAP. And I feel better when you're beside me. When you're below me, I'm scared. I'm worried I can fall, and then you get my smash, and then disappear. But
I'm a big boy.
Hopefully everything will be fine about this. We have a few people in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. Let's go to welcome everybody, and then we're going to talk each other. First of all, we have our friend, Mr. Marco Larrabee is back in the house. Marco, welcome back.
Hey, Marco, welcome.
And we have the James Bond of the Hockey Nation Live Show, Vinny 007 back in the house.
007, welcome.
You have a really busy summer. You know, he make a movie, so he's really busy right now. He's like, I can't wait. He's supposed to have a new movie with Batman, so I can't wait to. He's supposed to tell us a little bit more of the story the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
It's like Joe Biden said, we are in transition. So we have a transition right now between a Batman and a James Bond. So we'll see what's happening, Mr. ENORTAP. But it's something we have to follow up. And at the time they will make the movie, they decide, say, you know what, why not the morning to go to the breakfast area? It's called now Mr. Bag of Donuts, Mr. ENORTAP. Back in the house, Bobby!
Bobby, welcome.
Then one Batman and James Bond met together at the Bag of Donuts. Mr. ENORTAP, do you know what happened?
They had Timbits? I don't know.
No. We have some deal because now Real Deal Prim is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Gotcha. Okay, welcome, Real.
And finally, we have another. Do you know what happening after that one? They get the deal.
They they brought in a puck monkey or something?
No, they finally make more money, so they have more fortune. Just after that, we have Luc La Fortune in the house, Mr. NH'S.
Salut, Luc.
And then when James Bond met Batman at the Dagodonuts, and then they have a real deal and they got money to make more fortune. Do you know what happening, Mr. NH'S?
They needed a moderator?
Exactly. The police show up and they're right there to figure out, sure, everything's set up very, very well, Mr. NH'S.
Oh my gosh. Coach, I thought the quiz was at the end of the show.
But we're not done yet. Because now they finished to eat the donuts. So do you know where they are going now?
Which of our friends has a name like that?
So in French, he said Dubois. In English, they're going to the forest and the wood. So that's the next destination for them. That's the next movie.
Dubois.
Saints is in the wood and the Dubois. So we welcome Mr. Alexandre Dubois.
Welcome, Alex.
But do you know exactly where he was? The location, Mr. NH'S?
At Mount Tremblant.
It was a Mont Tremblant. So welcome back, Mr. Mont Tremblant.
Welcome.
And do you know who he was in charge about the situation? Who she was in charge about the crew over there?
Miss Kelly?
Kimberly Henna. She was in charge about the crew, Mr. Moore. We need someone over there.
All right, Kimberly. Welcome.
But in Mont Tremblant, Mr. NH'S, we have a kind animal a lot over there, and they have to be involved in the movie where James Bond have to save them. Because right now, Batman was in really in difficult time, and he tried to figure out, but he was many those kind of the animals. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The monkeys, of course.
But the monkey was there. But at the same time, we have to report this. We have a newspaper. The reporter, he was at the same time to watching what's going on. Do you know who was there?
No, who?
R.G. Calavero.
Oh, R.J., our friend, yes.
But at the end, do you know what happening?
What happened?
It's because they saved the best of the best, Mr. NH'S. Because the mission was to James Bond with Batman to figure out the monkey, what he was all about, what he was hiding. Do you know who he was hiding?
No.
The king, the King Swing. He's in the wood in Utah, but he moved in Mont Tremblant.
Oh, Coach.
But at the end of the scene, Mr. NH'S, do you know what happening?
I think they all got to go to sleep.
They have to go to sleep. So I got Mr. Woodlight to sleep in the house. But do you know what happening when they went to Dagodonuts and they went to the same, and then there was a coronet by running by Kimberly, and we have a lot of monkeys, and then the king was saved by Batman and James Bond. Do you know what happening for them?
No.
They gained some kilo, Mr. NH'S, because the donuts they got the morning. Welcome back, Mr. Kilo.
Kilo. Coach.
But do you know really who he was, the favorite baseball player, Mr. NH'S?
Favorite baseball player? No.
But usually we call him Mr. William McClary.
William.
But it's the Willie McClary, Mr. NH'S.
Welcome, William.
We're going to keep it's going to be to be continued tomorrow, Mr. NH'S. If not, we're going to be here like all night. So we have the story about this. So hopefully, we have to be a little bit improvisation. Let's call it improvisation, and they have to take out about this one over there. But we have Mr. Steve G is in the house. Welcome back, Steve G.
Hey, Steve, how's it going? Coach is just excited. He's going to Thailand. That's why.
Yeah, I did not find my day right now. Danny said, Coach is on the road.
Oh. I thought this quiz was at the end of the day.
Mr. Hatania, welcome back. Mr. Hatania. Monsieur Mont-Tremblant, welcome back in the house. Bienvenue de retour dans la maison d'Archimation Live Show, Monsieur Mont-Tremblant. Oh, Mr. Nhl'S, we had the first super chat of the night. Bobby, back at the net, $2. Here we go. Chop, chop, chop. Reverse. Super chat. Bobby, back at the net. Super chat number 1 of the night, Mr. Bobby. Back at the nuts.
Oh my God!
Thank you so much, Mr. Bobby, about this. So we have from fire because we are on fire tonight, Mr. Nhl'S. And of course, we have to tell him.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Nice.
Here we go, Mr. Nhl'S. Thanks so much, Mr. Bobby.
No,
and
we have to go again, Coach.
I'm sorry again?
You missed one. We got to go again.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. We have to welcome everybody. And then we have E.O. Chabouillard back in the house. Danny said, Coach, a lot of imagination. Well, Charlie Farrell is in the house.
Charlie, how's it going?
Every time I see Charlie, I'm thinking about Charlie Finley, the owners of the California Golden Seals and the Oakland or Athletic. Anybody see that enough? A welcome video today. Almost looked like a stage video. Marco, he looked like he was very happy. He was excited to be a part of the show, this one over there.
Hostage video?
So that would be happen about this. Renaud, we'll go to answer to your question in the next couple of minutes. We'll go talk about the news. So I'll go to answer to your question about and welcome in the house, Mr. Renaud. Hey, the winner of the Frenchy quiz this morning, Mr. Nhl'S, Corey Hill. Perfect to game 3 and 3, Mr. Corey Hill. Welcome back.
Way to go, Corey. Welcome, Renaud.
Stratic, welcome back directly from Seattle. Number 1 fans of the Edmonton Oilers, Seattle Kraken. They are all in the same family. Anyway, Mr. Stratic, thanks so much. I appreciate a lot to be with us tonight.
Welcome.
Ron said I won this movie. That's a good one. Kimberly, thanks so much. Rivers, about this one over there. Oh, we got that one, Mr. Nhl'S. He did not show up. I think it was a back-to-back. That's the reason. Ladies and gentlemen, our best friend and number 1 for the Boston Bruins. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with a big super chat tonight, Mr. Ross Stubbington. Here we go. $10. Ross Stubbington. River. Chop, chop, chop. Ross Stubbington. Super chat, a big $10, Mr. Nhl'S. Wow, what a great gift from Mr. Ross Stubbington, Mr. Nhl'S. What do you think about this one? Are you still there?
Hype.
Thank you very much. Nice.
Here we go. We did hype. Oh, well, we're going to love someone. We're going to love him. Thanks so much, Mr. Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, Ross Stubbington, $10 in the house, super sticker. Thanks so much again, Mr. Ross. Chop, chop, chop. Awesome. Reverse, welcome. Chop it up. Chop. Ross with us. Ross, Marco. Here you go. And Coach has the flooded energy flowing through him tonight. I'm a fire up, of course, all the time. What about Mr. Michael DeLanery? He said, have the Islander pay off Yashin and Dibedo. We're not there yet. We're getting there. Thanks so much again, Mr. Ross, for your super chat again. Welcome back in the house. So, Coach is on fire. I missed that one. Fire! I missed this one, Mr. Nhl'S. About this one over there. Thanks so much, RJ, for update. Miss Kelly in the house. So, welcome back in the house.
Hey, Kelly.
Kelly said I got it because all the answer, Mr. Nhl'S, it was under today. So it was great to see that. Anthony Manzano, I coach NHLTAP. Anthony, man of friends of the hockey. It's not sure the Sarah Planters. Coach, there was over the play, police. And don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be awesome. And thanks so much. Mr. NHLTAP, let's dive in about the news of the day. And then after that, we can talking about the best contract and the worst contract for everybody. And go from there. So let's talk here. I want your first impression about what I'm going to let you know. Kako signed a 2 years contract with the New York Rangers. So what your impression about this one over there?
I think it was okay. It was. I mean, he's definitely hasn't reached his potential yet. He had a decent year defensively. He's fairly good as well. We know the talent's there, so I think it was a good pickup. He's a second, third line player for sure at this stage, anyways, with the potential of improving. So,
was the selection prior Kirby Dak, right? Second round pick, $2.1 million, 21 years old. Do you expect him? Do you think that would be the same kind of contract that Kirby Dak he would get?
Yeah, I think Dak's probably looking at 1.5 to 2.2, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I think so too about this one. Mr. Blackhawks fan 97, Mr. NHLTAP is back in the house. You're absolutely right, Renaud, about this. You have a lot of people like that. Here we go. Renaud asked this question earlier, but Mathieu Joseph, Mr. NHLTAP, agreed a term with the Ottawa Senator, and surprisingly, he got a 4 years contract at, that's pretty good, at $3 million, honestly, 2.95. 25 years old, that gave him 2 years as a UFA, 2 years as a RFA. What do you think about this contract?
Well, when the trade was made initially during the course of the year, I mean, I think we saw it benefited both teams with Tampa and Ottawa. I think this was a good contract as well for Ottawa to secure him for the next 4 years. I think he's got some untapped talent still, and he's going to show it. He's got great speed. He's good stick handler. And can score too.
So Renaud asked you this question at the same time. Sorry, I cut you right there. But he asked you about do you think he would get 1 point, or how you feel like he's going to be that one there? Do you think with them he's a top 6 or a top 9?
Right now he's probably in the top 9, but I think he'll move up to the second line at some point. It depends on his production and how that progresses. Like, it's going to be tough on this very talented now Ottawa team to move into the top 6 or in the top 2 lines. But
because you had Kachuk, Norris, Giroux. You had different Cat Patterson with Suzla. Now that gave them a good line with Mathieu. If Pinto can come back in shape,
that's right.
Out in injury with Formenton. So that gave them a great third line. And then after that, they can play with Kelly, not Kelly here, but Peter Kelly Parker and Gambrel at the bottom with Austin Watson if they need him. So that'd be pretty good. They can get over there. So I think it would be a good third line over there. He can use, if something happened to the top 6, he can jump in.
Yeah, he can easily on slide
second
in.
Unit power play, Mr. NHLTAP too. So I think it's pretty good overall.
I mean, I'm just curious to see what kind of ice time he'll log, because he's like we said, he's going to probably be on that third line.
It's going to be a 13, 15 minute.
Yeah, it'll restrict his production a little bit, but like you said, if somebody gets hurt, it's a great player to slide into the second or even the first line if they had to for a short period of time.
They feel about this one over there. Stefan Rabidas, assistant coach of the Montreal Canadiens now for the defenseman. What do you think about this new hiring by the Montreal Canadiens?
Well, we were waiting for a while to see who our defensive assistant coach was going to be. Robita, he has a bit of a background. Like he seems to fit in very well with the direction that Montreal is going. He's definitely a good communicator. He works very well with the youth. He was with the Leafs for a while. I think in charge of player. Was it player development or was it? I'm not sure if it was player development or maybe with drafting.
We talk about
But he was with
Toronto.
the yeah. He
Yeah,
was
so
with
he
them
started
for
in 2015 as assistant director players development, and then after that he becomes director until 2021.
yeah, and he coached last year as well and had a good year there. But again, at the minor leagues, and you know what, I think he gets along very well with Martin St. Louis. This this was more a conversation that St. Louis brought to both Hughes and Gordon that he would like to have him there, and they agreed. My only concern is not so much with Robidas. It's just the fact that we have a lot of inexperienced coaches right now, and I would have liked to seen maybe somebody with a bit more experience that they can rely upon.
But what it would be the role of this person?
I think it would be a mentor, maybe for any of the coaches, assistant or head coach. Somebody that's been there, somebody that perhaps has the experience that they can draw upon and get some advice as well. Again, nothing against Robidas. I think he'll fit in very well, and I think the players will like him. You hear the comments from the players already about what Martin St. Louis. We just heard Weidman talk about him, and really, he didn't play with him that long last year, and he's saying he would go through a brick wall for him just because of the way he treats the players. So it's that common reciprocal respect that they have for each other between coaches and players and coaches. And it seems to be the way the NHL is moving because, the type of coaches that, are just hollering and belittling their players and, giving them very little respect, it doesn't seem to be working. And those are some of the coaches that are being recycled. And maybe the reason why some of those coaches haven't been picked up.
So for me, I would say at some point I thought it would be the necessity to have someone with experience. But when you think about this now, is the way it fit very well with the culture they want to build. It's about developing. And because they have experienced 15 years in NHL, the 20 years and everything like that as a hockey player, I think the education, the teacher, who they are, they fit very well together. And that's the most important things for them. It's really what happening at the practice, the off ice, and how do you talk to them? How do you explain to become a professional and make them better? And that's who they are. At the end of the day, behind the bench, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's really easy. It's not complicated. It's just about with alone, it's complicated because you have to pay attention to everything. But when you're not alone, like St. Louis is not going to turn around to say to Grabidas, I do this. No way about this, right? St. Louis just watching the game and he makes some adjustment. The forward is coming from Lutowski, and then you have Grabidas about defensemen. So I'm not worried about the coaching behind the bench. It was more about how they can develop, and I love the fact they have Grabidas now as a teacher over there for them, and they've been on the same way. 7th-round pick, 146 overall. He had to change his game to block the shot and understood what it takes to stay long in NHL. So those kinds of experience, that's what Luke Richardson did with the Montreal. He brings that kind of experience, the 20 years behind the bench about communication, and they make them, the players, better. And I'm telling you right now, the next 2 years, Montreal Canadiens will be a top destination in NHL because of Martin St. Louis the staff over there.
I don't know if it'll be the top destination, but you're right. I think it'll be easier to attract UFAs in the future. And in this case, like even Robidas, I mean, he said, I'm here really to help the youth on defense. Like I'm not going to bother, the Matheson, the Wideman, the Edmondson, Savard. I'm here for Harris. I'm here for Gooley. I'm here for, whoever else makes the team that comes from that perspective, and he wants to help him up along the way. He's not a guy that yells at players. He's very patient, and it goes, like you said, it goes along with exactly what Martin St. Louis is doing. My only point earlier was the fact that coaching. Yes, if everything's in place, it's not that difficult, but when it comes to key times in a game, or especially in the playoffs, you have to know how to think on the fly. And we saw that wasn't the case with Florida last year, and that's why we saw a coaching change there in my eyes. You have to know how to match your lines. You have to know when to switch up lines and not just switch them up for the sake of switching them up. You have to know your players really well under all sorts of circumstances.
I would give an excuse for Brunette because I think Brunette he got squeezed by Barkov, Ekblad, Huberdeau.
Maybe, but I again,
that's why the reason Huberdeau is gone.
I think we would have seen a different Florida if Quenneville was still there.
We're going to put in the rafter the jersey of Patrick Marleau, Mr. NHLTAP. Number 12 is going to be retired again, the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know why Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know why February 25th. But they have a reason behind that for sure. So congratulations, Patrick Marleau. Well done. Great hockey player. And
great career.
Great professional. So congratulations with everything what he accomplished in the NHL. Bad news for the NHL. They lost their sponsor, Adidas. They're going to not renewing their contract in 2023, 2024, Mr. NHLTAP. This is the end for them, and they're going to move on with another one. I don't know, Reebok will be back or someone else. Is something I have to follow up. And not that one. This is the last one of the show, Mr. NHLTAP. Before we talk about the best and the worst contract in NHL. And they have a couple of questions, Mr. NHLTAP. We're going to go quick on those questions, Mr. NHLTAP. Adam Berger said, Coach, when a player signs an American Hockey League contract, only can they get called up or not? Mr. NHLTAP.
When they have a minor league contract?
Yeah, so when they sign an American Hockey League contract only, can they get called up or not?
It depends if it's a one-way or two-way contract, if I'm not mistaken. I think if it's a two-way contract, they can definitely be called up at any point. You have to watch out how many times you do that. If you do it, because then they might have to go through the waiver list first. And
so that's a great answer, by the way. But I would say to you this, Adam. So if it's a one-way, you have to stay American Hockey League. He cannot be called up. It's a two-way, so you have a salary NHL $750 and a $200,000 in American Hockey League. Then he can call up. And the reason why you have only one way is because the team, Mr. NHLTAP, does not count as a contract professional on the limit of 50.
Right.
It makes sense?
Yes.
So remember, like Raphaël Harvey Pinard, 2 years ago, he signed a contract at 20 years old only for Laval. This year, they signed a contract, I believe, is Xavier Simoneau at 20 years old, only one way, not two ways, because they don't want to call up a count as a contract as that kind of negotiation. So Adam, what they will do after that, if ever they want to go him and get him, Then after that, they can sign another contract and call up as a contract. But if it's a one-way, they cannot be called up, Mr. Nota.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
Andrew, Coach Andrew, coming back to the panel, is on vacation. Do you think middle of the pack Nashville would do better or worse this year?
That's a good question, Stradek. You know what? I think it's going to be tough because you have some teams that are on the rise there as well, but they have the key players in place. They re-signed Forsberg, so that's a definite plus. They still have Yossi, obviously, and the goaltending is solid. I definitely believe that they'll be in the mix, probably for a wild card, I would suspect.
Yeah.
And they also picked up who'd they pick up just recently? A very good pickup.
Niederreiter.
Right. That's an excellent pickup for them, I think. If he fits in perfectly with that team.
I said they will be on the four team in this Central Division, Mr. Nota.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Renaud, how can Rabiters jump from midget AAA to NHL? He did not learn from Dominic Schoenfeld's plan last season.
I don't think it's really about where they're coming from, but how they develop the team. And they're bringing something that is, the management for Montreal now is thinking outside the box. They're not just going to the old same recycled coaches.
Mr. ENORTAP is already an improvement. Martin Saint-Louis came from Bantam AA.
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
But to answer this, Renaud is 15 years in NHL, 7 years as a director scouting, assistant coach, assistant development. So he's been HK developed players since 2015. So he's been that job forever, honestly. And that's the reason why they feel comfortable. But again, this is all about outside the box. They feel the same way like they feel with Martin Saint-Louis. Winner, HK, development, communication, leader, they go through adversity, perseverance. They love the game and they love to teaching. That's what they are doing, and that's why they stay on the same path. Again, Mr. ENORTAP, they stay in the plan of who they are.
Absolutely. And they need that opportunity as well for themselves to grow and improve. Otherwise, if we went by that mentality about experience, you'd only be recycling old coaches for the rest of eternity in hockey. You would never be bringing in anybody new.
Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. Do you prefer to go best and worst contract, or we go with 5 more questions?
Up to you, Coach. Whatever you like.
All right, let's go wrap up this one over there. What do you think of Leah Lipushkin signed at 2.75 for the next 2 years?
It's a good contract. He brings a certain physicality and good defensive play as well to the team. It's not a long contract, so you really don't have to worry about it. And, for next 2 years, he's going to be solid for them. At that price tag.
It's another team, Mr. ENORTAP, en transition.
Yeah.
He's 28 years old, so I think it will be good for them. And the next 2 years, Alexandre, you're going to see now the experience, the Dallin at his prime. Powers will have 3 years, 2 years in NHL already. So I think it's a great one over there. He play home, and he's completely opposite kind of players versus Power and Dallin. So I think overall, Mr. ENORTAP has a great pick at that kind of money about this. Hello, Coach. Well, I see a lot of one-year deal contract. Do you see this being the norm?
I don't know.
I can answer you right now. You can tell me what you think, and then you can answer me.
It depends about their age. It depends about what age they're at.
It's all about salary cap, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah.
because that if you look about this, right, what they do is like they have about 78, 79, 80, and they go 1 year contract and that's it. And they cannot do anything else. They cannot afford to go there. At least you really the next. So the bottom six, the defensemen 4, 5, and 6, or 5 and 6, they all go 1 year contract. 352 players, Mr. NHLTAP, are signed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at Corey Perry, right? The last 3 years. Yep. Dallas 1 year, Montreal 1 year, Tampa 2 years. Yep. That's probably the max.
Yep. Who has the player to which the app make move? Thank you, coach. Which player do you think Montreal should go?
Should move on? Make a move on?
Yeah.
You mean through free agency, Alexandre?
Who's the player which the most app make a move on right now?
Well, I think right now they're
I think for me it's be like the player they need to trade right now.
Oh, that they need to trade. Well,
yeah, because they cannot get anybody. So.
Well, that's my point. Like they're pretty much at capped. I think they have $1 million to play around with, and they still have to sign one more player. So it's if they get rid of contracts, I think you're looking at Hoffman perhaps at some point, Armia. Gallagher will be tough to get rid of that contract. They're going to have to wait and see what happens with Price. That's another one. Drouin, although his contract will probably, well, not probably, it does end at the end of this upcoming year. So look for him by trade deadline to be probably dealt somewhere. Defensively, I don't see too many moves. Maybe Jake Allen in net at trade deadline time as well. But they have to probably get rid of one contract before the season starts just to accommodate.
Only c'est Joel Armia.
Before the season?
Before the season, yeah. There's only one can be traded.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else.
No, I mean, I know there's been a lot of interest with Dvorak recently because his contract is very
yeah, but if you think about this, who would be the center?
I know. Well, that's the reason why we haven't probably seen.
The only way we move that one, they become the Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah, you get a centerman back. Yeah,
yeah, that's the only way it happen about that. So I don't see that, and. I'm going to make my prediction bold for the Montreal Canadiens. I would not be surprised they don't trade Jake Allen. They sign him a 3 years contract next year.
Depends what his request is.
I will believe they would keep him.
Oh, they might have to, right? It depends how ready the team is.
That's my point behind that.
Move. Yeah.
What do you think about Josh Norris sign?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Norris is it's great that Ottawa's secured him for the next, is it 8 years, I think they gave him. I mean, he's a guy that definitely fits on very well in that first line. He's got a great touch around the net, good skater, can play physical as well. As long as he stays healthy, a definite asset there.
Yep, you're absolutely right about this one there. The next one is there is any rookie contract that the Panthers signed for the last two drafts. The guy from Richard, they are already planning to come over here, play minute for the Panthers. I don't see any one of them right now, other the fact like Tenisenko would try to make the team, but I don't see anybody right now to make that kind of move for them. I don't know, Mr. NHLTAP, if you want to add something.
No, I don't. Not really.
All right. How much gold do you believe the DeBrincat get with Ottawa Senator?
It's hard to speculate. I mean, we know what he's capable of. I'd say somewhere around 30, 35.
I would go 40.
The only reason I went lower is because there's going to be a spread of talent and goals to go around to many different players on that team, and so they don't really need him to be their sole goal
But
production
he will
player.
still be a number one power play on the flanker. So that's the reason why I said 40 goal.
Yeah.
So he's not going to lose his spot like he was with Chicago. So the unit number one would be an example like Norris. They will go 1 and 4. So Shabbat with Norris, Giroux, Kachuk, and the Brinkat. Then they're going to respond after that with Joseph,
Stutzel.
They're going to get Brederson over there. And now they're going to maybe bring now Jake Sanderson. And so that's what would be my point here. That's the reason I said 40 goal. But you're absolutely right. It would be a more spread over there. I agree with you about this one. What deal would the Devil do I need to make so they did trade Hoffman?
What deal do the Devils do?
They have $8 million, Mr. NHLTAP, and they have to sign Jasper Pratt, so they have no money anymore. And they have to sign Mile Wood with that one over there. So obviously they would not go with Hoffman.
No, not in New Jersey. I don't believe so.
Because they don't sign yet, Jasper Pratt is going to be there. So anyhow, Mr. NHLTAP, we answered those questions. So far, so good. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I'm not there. So maybe Danny, if anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm still here, Mr. NHLTAP, with you. Now we're going to move on to the NHL Best and Worst Contract 2022. And to helping everybody, guys, it's going to be both sides. So it's only worst or only best. We're going to go both sides, guys. And that would be important to get that part over there. So let's go back here. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, Mr. NHLTAP. And we can go after Michael said will Piquet play next season? I think so, but I don't know which one over there. So let's talk about Mr. NHLTAP, the best and the worst contract. He can start with 2 of them, and then we're going to follow up, and then we can bring more after that.
Okay, sounds good. Not easy. Not easy for sure. Where do you want to start? Which team?
It's no matter. Just tell us. We're not going to go. Just give me a contract.
Oh, why don't we go with? Oh, how about the Rangers? Let's go with the Rangers.
The Rangers?
I think in terms of contract, I like the fact that at 27 years of age, they signed Zibanejad to $5.35 million at the time. So that was a great pickup. As we know, we see what he's done, and he's used in many different situations there. For the Rangers, worst, I'm not sure that as much as, I tend to like Barclay Goodrow, 6 years at 3.64 with a modified no trade clause. It's a little bit tough to digest, especially as he's in the process of aging moving forward. So I would go with those 2 for the Rangers.
Okay. I'm going to go with, we have a super chat, Mr. NHLTAP. We have to stop and come back right here. Here we go. Super chat, this is Kilo, number 3 of the night, $5. Here we go. Chop, 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 Rivers. Mr. Kilo, $5 tonight. Super chat, Mr.
Super
NHLTAP.
chat.
Here we go.
Hype.
That's awesome, Mr. NHLTAP. Another $5 in the bank. Thanks so much, Mr. Kilo. And everybody have the super chat. Was Stubbington, and then Mr. Bobby did it earlier. Thanks so much. We appreciate about this one there. Here we go, $5 right there. Let's dive in with the people said, Mr. NHLTAP. All right?
Let's see what everybody's saying.
Park and Dream said pick Carlson. Eric Carlson.
Who?
Eric Carlson.
San Jose.
Yeah.
Of San Jose. I mean, that's definitely a horrible contract.
Yeah, I think the
We're
people
looking
will
at
jump from left to right, Mr. NHLTAP. So we're going to have some adjustment here, Mr. NHLTAP.
6 years at 11.5 million. That's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right about this. Look the person, John Tavares.
For Toronto, yeah. I mean,
Yep. We have another new member,
got?
Mr.
New
Luciano
member.
Graziano. Welcome back in the house, member, for the Hockey Nation Live show. Thank you. Mr.
yeah, Tavares,
Thank you
4
very
years at
much.
11 million,
Sorry again?
and he can't be traded. 4 years at 11 million for Tavares for a second line center, a little bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely right about this. Corey Hill said, what's contract Matt Murray for the Ottawa Senator?
And that's why they traded him. But you're right, Corey. Absolutely.
6.2, 2 more years to go, Mr.
Six-
NHLTAP.
Yeah, that's right.
Luciano said, I'm at the puck. Mr. Angelo, welcome aboard.
Hey, Angelo, how's it going?
Angelo is a little bit concerned about Tony DeAngelo.
From a you know what? He's not the best defensively. I agree with that. And also from how good is he with the other teammates? I know he had a good year with Carolina this year, but I don't know how that's going to translate moving forward now with the kind of situation that he's gotten himself into now.
To answer to you, I don't think so. Me, I consider a bad contract. It's only 2 years. All right. If you want to talk about them, Flowers, Ristolainen,
Yeah,
$5.1 million, Mr. NHLTAP, 4 years.
that's right.
Right? Want to talk about them? What about Kevin Hayes?
Kevin Hayes.
$7.1 million. You still have
For
4 years to
5
go.
years. That's right. Yeah.
And they have to complete now. GVR is $7 million at 33 years old. So for me, I can understand Angelo is concerned, but I would not be too much worried about him. At $5 million, 2 years, he's going to be the best defenseman or the right defenseman. He's going to control his power play over there. So I think he would be delivery who he is, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Wheeler right there. What about Blake Wheeler?
Oh, well, I mean, initially, Marco, when they got him, I mean, he definitely produced point-wise, but you're absolutely right. He's still got 2 years left at somewhere over $8 million.
8.2.
8.2. So, and he has, if I'm not mistaken, a modified no-trade clause and maybe even a no-movement clause.
Yeah, now he has, he still have a no movement, but sometimes the last 2 years, something like that, I can tell you what he has now at the end. He have let's fight, so he can submit a 5-team trade list
Right.
for the last 2 years.
And so it's going to be hard to move him unless he approves his move.
Yeah, absolutely about this. Renaud said Jake Wanzel has a great team-friendly deal. If you look at his stat, they're amongst the best.
For Pittsburgh, yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. For the performance, he go over there. I think he still have 2 more years to go at $6 million, Mr. NHLTAP.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kilo. What about Brett Marchand, Mr. NHLTAP?
Well, you could take just about anybody on the Boston team, right? You could put Bergeron in that equation. You could put even Pasternak. I mean, up to a certain point, they were committed to the team, and they were taking home discounts to just play in Boston and play together. Things are slowly starting to escalate there, I guess, with the salary cap going up as well. But you're right. Those are great players that have played for Boston over the last little while and continue to at great prices.
You're absolutely right about this. I will give you a statistic, Mr. NHLTAP. So the GSVA by the Athletic by Tom carry on the GSVA. They make a card, and this card gave them the value on the market.
Okay.
And He is one of the 10. His contract, Mr. NHLTAP, is at 6.1, but his value is $15.8 million.
Wow.
That gave him a $9.7 differential million between his salary versus the value. He is a number 2. He is a number 1 with Cal McCarr.
Yeah. And look at his age. He seems to get better every year.
Yes. I'll be honest with you, is a number 2. Do you know who's a number 1? With a GSVU and the money he make and what the money he should make on the value market with all the stat, who do you believe he has the lowest?
Draisaitl.
Austin Matthews.
Okay.
He's at 11.6. He is the only players he will make $21.5 million per year. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It was before we came to Toronto. Patrick got that for the next nothing still. Angelo, talk about this. I will set all the players the Hawks signed Blackhawks. Question: is Jake Quenzel a star anywhere other than Pittsburgh?
I think so. I mean, he's got a good nose for the puck. He can score. He's got great hands. He even plays it
was solid in the playoffs, Mr. NHLTAP.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could tell sometimes when Crosby wasn't in the lineup due to injuries. I mean, he stepped it up. We saw that at the beginning of this year, and even last year a little bit. This guy's he's definitely an excellent player. It's not because of just Crosby.
Mikko Love Sharks HD, welcome aboard. John de Frenchy Tavares. Okay, Fox, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
He likes the contract David Perron for Detroit at 2 years at 4.7. What do you think about that?
I mean, I got to be honest. Every year in the last 2 or 3 years, I've been expecting a drop off for Perron, and he hasn't. I mean, the guy, very much like Marchand, has been improving with age. He's solid on the power play. He's great in front of the net. He's a great team player as well. For Detroit, I think that's an excellent pickup.
Great analysis about David Perron, honestly, about this. Remember what Martin Saint-Louis said. You always need to learn how many experience you have in NHL. You're always going to learn. And David Perron talked about this on the French Canadian at the launch TV launch on Jazz in French RDS, and he was mentioned about how much Martin Saint-Louis is so much right about this. He said, "I have no reason when you get 30 years older, if you don't learning something, you're on the wrong league. You should always try to learn something, whatever is your age." So. Really good analysis about this one over there. Thank you, Aki Fox, for sharing with us. And welcome back in the house. What about Max Stone?
Well, I'd say if it wasn't for his injuries, the fact that it's he doesn't stay healthy the entire year. I mean, that's a great player, a great leader, more so than player as well. Vegas definitely benefits from his skill set, and even when he was in Ottawa, he was very solid. But if he stays healthy, that's a great contract. If he can't stay healthy and misses like he did this year, I think he missed over 30, 40 games possibly, and then it becomes a very expensive contract.
He's a 9.5. He's going to start his 4 years, Mr. NHLTAP, right? I don't think it's a bad contract. He have 1 point per game, 1 point per game most of the time. Only last year he played only 37 games. The year before he did not miss any game, only one. The year before he missed maybe 3 games. So overall, I think he did pretty good. He played his first year and the last You have to go all the way to 2019 when he maybe 13, 14 was maybe a regular, a rookie, Mr. Nhl'S. He played always, every year, 90% of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
I'm at
you worry
25
like
and he
moving
make 1
forward,
point per
right?
game. I think it's pretty good.
I mean, his injury is back, so you kind of worry about that moving forward. But you're right. I mean, he's a definite leader, and he's a clutch player. He's definitely, somebody that you put out there when you're trailing, or even if you're winning. I mean, the guy can play on any situation, power play, shorthanded. Uh, how can that be a bad contract?
What about Jack Eagle?
I think we have to wait and see. I mean, if we're looking at a healthy Jack Eichel, I think it's it's in the same neighborhood as Stone's contract. Uh, it's if he's healthy, this guy's going to put up the numbers. I wouldn't worry about that. I know this year was a bit of an aberration because of all the injuries that Vegas had. But I mean, just look at Buffalo, and Buffalo was not a good team for the years that he was there. He produced,
You have 25 points, Mr. Nhl'S, and 34 game.
which is not bad.
If you
And he'll
consider he did
improve
not play
on
for
that.
about 16 months.
This guy's a number one center, coach. I mean, this guy's a point a game minimum.
Here we go. That's a good one, Mr. Nhl'S. Is one of my worst. Daniel Nurse, one of the worst, and I like Alex Stock contract. What do you talk about, Daniel Nurse?
Yeah, I guess given the money, but I mean, this guy eats up. I think part of the money that defensemen get, we have to be careful because we're looking at their final statistical line at the end of the year and saying, well, this is a bad contract, it's a good contract. I mean, but this guy brings so much more to the game. We saw when he was injured in the playoffs that Edmonton just wasn't the same. They were skating around him. They like when this guy is healthy and he's using his physicality. Look at the ice time that this guy logs. Like this guy can put up close to 27, 28 minutes if he had to in a game. And those are things that we tend to overlook that should figure into the contract. It is a lot, but you're also getting certain things that other defensemen don't offer you.
Everybody have $9 million, Mr. Nhl'S, run about 60 points per year. The Letang, the Carlson, the top of the top, right? And
Again, but
he
you're
run
looking
after
at it.
35 points per year.
You're looking at it from just the statistical point of view. I think if you're going to look at the analytics of it, this guy does offer you.
His value is only $5 million from Dominic. That's the problem about this one this year. Now, of course, when he does that exercise with ENORTAP, his contract, he was this year, right? So it was his first year. And it was his first year.
Like I would put him ahead of Seth Jones, for example.
But that's another one. This is the worst. Is a number 2 worst contract in NHL. Is that Jones?
Yeah, and the Seth Jones, I would agree. Yeah.
For me, I just they give too much money on Daniel Nurse.
Yeah, I can't dispute that, but I'm just trying to say that sometimes it's more than just the final points that you see at the end of the year that has to come into the equation.
For me, he deserves only 7.5. Because he does not produce a lot on either. He don't because right now for them is a number 1, and he does not produce on power play. He does not produce on point.
Well, the power play, I mean, you have to be careful because I think Tyson Barrie took a lot of that ice time away from him the last couple of years. So that could be possibly the reason why the production is low there. He's only been on the second power play unit. Um, I think we'll see an improvement over the next few years, but I agree. Like maybe 9 is a little bit too much, but
Because
seven and
after
a half
that,
to
Mr.
8,
Notap is not going to run. It's going to be Evan Bouchard. So how much
of
money you
course.
going to get the Bouchard? Is Nurse is at $9.5 million. Who is going to be better, Bouchard or Nurse? Who will be the most
Again,
valuable on the TAP team?
but what makes a defenseman? It's not just the points, is what I'm saying. You could have a great defenseman that, like Eric Carlson when he was in his youth. Well, actually, that's not a good example because he wasn't bad defensively, but there's some that like Hamilton, for example, gets you to points, but you're also going to pull out your hair many nights when he gives up the puck a lot and they score against you.
Or he's not good on the defensive side.
Well, that's my point.
I
But a
just feel
Darnell
like for me,
Nurse
Nurse
is.
should be about 7 million. That's pretty much it. What about Gallagher?
Yeah, that wasn't a great contract. I would agree. I think that was done more on the merits of what he did in the past, and our beloved Bergeron did that. He is the heart and soul of the team. There's no debating that part of it, but it's a lot of money, and they're in a difficult situation. Hopefully, this year he can rebound a little bit and earn some of that.
Marco said Price is a bad contract.
Yeah, I was saying that from many years ago when they signed him for over 10. You know, we've had this conversation, coach, before in the past. I know he at the time he was the best player on Montreal, probably still is, if you take the injury aspect out of it. But $10.5 million for your goaltenders, way too much.
Bobby mentioned Zeb John. We just talked about him.
Yeah,
Really
I would
bad
agree
one.
with that. Yeah.
Corey talked about Bobby Ryan.
He had, um, yeah, Bobby Ryan. Yeah, I agree. I guess I don't know what to say. There's a lot of layers to peel back from Bobby Ryan. I mean, this guy has a lot of talent, but many other factors have figured into his state that he's currently in.
Yep. Mike said that Blake Weller one bad year. What about UEL? Oliver Ekman Lawson.
Yeah, horrible, horrible. He had, I think, 6 years at I mean, 7.25, I believe, and I think he also has a no movement clause, if I'm not mistaken. Not a good pickup.
And Mr. Stupidaso, welcome aboard. Stupidaso. Price is the number one worst contract ever about before Carlson, in my view.
No, I don't know if it's the number one, Renault, but I agree it wasn't a good contract. There's been a lot worse. Let me mention one. That was a 15-year contract for a goalie, Mr. DiPietro from the New York Islanders. And how many games did he play with the Islanders?
He
Not
played
many.
300 games in NHL, I believe.
Yeah, but still, at the time with the Islanders, he was signed, I think, 15 years at, you going back to his day. I think it was $4.5 million, but that
He
was
did
a huge amount of
318
money.
a game.
Yeah,
I believe for me, the worst would be Tyler Seguin. One of the worst.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, in the same sentence, you can even say Jamie Benn. I mean, he was signed at 4 years at almost $10 million with a no movement clause. And, look at his game the last 2 years. I mean, maybe the leadership is there, but you're not paying this guy close to $10 million just to be a leader. I mean, this guy has to produce. And we were saying that all year long. If Dallas doesn't get that second line to score, they're in trouble. And we even saw it in the playoffs, right?
The point behind that is because Seguin have 2 more years to go.
He has 2, and Ben, I think, has
Only 3. No, but my
only.
point, Seguin have
That's a
2
lot.
more years after Jimmy Ben.
Right.
So,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, 5 years to go. 9.5.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate all you members, supporters of the Hockey National Show. Thank you, Danny. Boston was always cheap, Watson said. What about Bobrovsky?
Oh, horrible. Well, let me preface that. Again, we're talking about a goalie, in my eyes, that, he's, what's he making? 10 million. So we're again at that number that I don't like. And I think it was long-term as well. Wasn't it 5 or 6 year contract
7.
that he signed with Florida? 7. Even worse. I think he has 5 left, 5 years left.
He's a half winner.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I mean, this past year, he had a much better year than the year before. But the year before is probably the reason that Florida wasn't able to get past Tampa Bay 2 years ago.
Just let you know, they signed him at 30 years old. Huberdeau is 30 years old, but I just let you know that. Just to let you know.
He just turned 30. Don't worry. He's really 29.
Bobrovsky is signed at 30 years old.
Okay.
Renaud said Nurse, Joan, and Vlasic are also worse Kevin Hayes. How about that?
Yeah, they're not great.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Right now, it's not a bad contract.
Yeah, but great year last
It's
year.
a good contract. Yeah.
It was below $5 million.
I think he had 62, 63 points, maybe.
Luciano, he said to you, what is the worst contract all the time in NHL?
Oh, that's hard.
You just said it.
There's so many.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Two of them right now. Rick DiPietro and Alexei Yashin.
Oh, right. Yashin. I forgot about that. You're right.
That's 2 there right now. There's like, for me, they are the worst. You cannot.
I mean, all you have to do is look at teams. If you go to Cap Friendly and look at their dead cap space, and teams are still paying these guys off. I mean, look at Montreal when they picked up, oh my gosh, what's his name? They got him from Washington on defense.
Eisner.
Alzner, right. I mean, how long did he last? And then he was on our dead cap list for quite a few years. We just got him off our backs right now.
Bobby said Chris Bronger.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Pronger, just look at his resume. I mean, this guy has achieved anything and everything. DiPietro, I agree.
DiPietro for Marco.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check the next one, Mr. NHLTAP. Kevin Hayes, not that much money, is only touched north of the Gallagher, 6.5. He's a 7.1, Mr. NHLTAP. I have a question. Who has the most goal last year, Gallagher or Kevin Hayes?
Good question. I think Gallagher had what, 8 or 9, maybe? Did he even hit 10? And Hayes was hurt for quite a while.
10 goals for Kevin Hayes last year, and Gallagher is at 7.
Oh, it's 7. Okay.
Yeah. That's why he deserves 7.1.
Let's just say they're both bad.
Yeah. Nurse contract is maybe 1.5 to million too high, but is a currently tough for Minnesota to fill 5-10%. The play with MILESTONES is not a high overplay will happen.
I agree with you. 100%.
That's exactly that. I will roll the dice on ever goalie easily. It's other thing where like Boston, the league would be a better place. Luc Lafortune about this. That's because Austin Matthews start his vacation in April. Stu, about that one or that. Nurse is not better than Tony D'Angelo.
Oh, yes, he is.
Marco Gobranson, the freshest bad contract.
Yeah, that was a bit tough to swallow, both term and money. I think it was maybe about $1 million too much and 1 year too much.
Yeah. And because I have a bad contract when he was at Washington. What do you think about this contract? Overpay, risky, or cheap?
Well, Suzuki's contract, right? I mean, if you look at it right now, I would say it's overpaid. I think they're looking. They had to secure him, and like he still put up very good numbers on a bad team this year. So the room, the ceiling for him is much higher, and I think that's what the contract is based on.
So here's the point, Mr. NHLTAP. 22 years old, turn 23 next year.
He's your number one center.
He's the number one center. He maybe turned 23 this year. But his contract starts today. Not last year, start this year. So for the next 8 years, we have him until 31 years old. So when he's going to get his prim at 26, 27, 28, 29, that's at least 4. We're going to go only 4 years. Do you believe that time is going to have 1 point per year?
Absolutely.
1 point per game, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think $8 million is expensive?
No.
That's my point behind on that contract. Now it's all we don't all go with if, right? But I think for me it's not a bad contract.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's based on his potential, and we're gonna see that. I mean, anything can happen that changes that along the way in terms of health. But if you put together the fact that this guy eventually he's still playing with Caulfield. Eventually, you're going to have Slafkovsky on that line as well. Like his ceiling could go more than just 1 point a game.
Yep.
I mean, you could see him hitting 90 to 100 points easily.
Welcome, Mr. Pierre Martin. Perron, a great stick angler about this. Great value contract. Giordano, hometown, and Spencer like a discount.
Who we're talking about?
Giordano and Spencer.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're playing because they love being in Toronto. Obviously, so for $1 million, they've and Spezza's really lived up to that. If you think about it. Given his age, he's still putting up decent numbers, even though he's on the, third and sometimes fourth line there. But great face-off man, has a great touch around the net. Giordano is still solid defensively if you play him at the right position.
You're absolutely right about this. Marco said, my general rule would not be to commit long-term to players over 30 years old or not natural skater. Their will would fall off. If I was GM, me at 30 years old, I don't give anything about 5 years.
And I'll tell you something else. You may or may not agree with it, but I'm very old school, and I think a lot of these contracts, after they've expired, they should be based on what they have achieved, merit. If the merit's not there, then you don't get the pay. It's as simple as that. You're not producing, move forward.
Yep. What about Steven Stamkos?
As I think he's had a great contract. I mean, he's
8.5. Now he's complete his contract. 2 more years to go, Mr. NHLTAP. I think it's a good contract.
Yeah, look at this year. He had probably one of his best years.
Mike said, Alex Pietrangelo, 8.8 AAV, good contract.
It's it is now, Michael. I just don't know. Fast forward, I think he's for 6 years.
5 more years to go.
Right, with no movement clause. So I don't know how that's going to play out in the long run, especially given the fact that he's a workhorse right now. And will he be able to hold up as time goes on? Otherwise, I agree with you. I mean, this guy can do everything for Vegas.
He had a good year last season. 13 goals.
Yeah.
44 points. Colton Parigo is looking bad deal. Colton Parigo is looking bad deal. I agree with you about this. Is on my worst contract, Renault, about him. William.
And just going back, Coach, one more thing there. Like you mentioned Pietrangelo. How many points did he have last year?
44.
Right. And how many did Darnell Nurse have?
35.
Okay. So
But
they're
it's
not
friends
too far
there
off,
because, yeah, two
and they're
friends
both
there.
making $9 million.
Its friend there is Pietrangelo is lower, first of all. Secondly, at 13 gold, Pietrangelo.
Yeah.
About that one there. That's my point with Nurse.
Time. Yeah.
And,
But my point there is it's those intangibles that sometimes defensemen bring that go beyond the stats.
But can you afford to carry on two defensemen at $9 million?
Isn't that what Vegas is doing right now?
Who?
With Theodore and Martinez and Pietrangelo? Like these guys are making a boatload of money.
They don't do it 9 million. They are, oh no. Martinez 5 million. That's it.
And what's Theodore at?
Theodore 5.
Yeah.
So my question is like, who is going to be a better defenseman, Nurse or Bouchard?
Are you talking statistically?
Yeah.
Statistically, probably Bouchard eventually.
So how much you going to give him? If Nurse is your number 2. That's my point here. I still believe he make a mistake by give him 9 point whatever he is. Because they never think, you always have to think about long term about this. You have to think, wait a minute, if I give him $9 million, if Bouchard is getting better earlier after that, he's only 21, 20. Who is going? They really did not evaluate this player a lot, like the map or his template for salary cap.
Yeah,
it's not about Nurse. No, it's not like Nurse. I'm just talking about the salary cap. How they, you know what I mean, like
structure it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point here. It's not again him. Great point by William, Mr. NHLTAP. First of all, Marco says Stone Will skating will fall off. I think the health could be a problem for him
because of the back.
Yeah.
I think that's the only concern, but his will won't.
Was David Clarkson?
David Clarkson, yeah.
Right and now. The good one is Chris Grader.
Kreider is making
$6 million, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I think he might even be under a little bit. Or didn't he just get it renegotiated a year ago?
I'm gonna go wrong, Mr. NHLTAP. 6.5.
6.5. Okay.
5 more years to go.
Yeah.
Alan Barnes, welcome back.
Hey, Alan, welcome.
Jack Eccles said is overpaid by $9.3 million per year. He made $10 million. So
is overpaid by 9.3.
Wow.
I don't think so, Michael.
Steve G. Nikushkin contract could be better. Could have been better.
Yeah, that was a good contract for Colorado. If he continues like he did this year, it's going to be.
Marco said Taze could looking better, like look really bad now.
Yeah,
injury again.
I mean, again, yeah, because the style that he plays and it's taking its toll on him.
Yeah,
and that's why we're seeing that. But
Michael said Nikushkin is overpaid.
I don't agree. I mean, if he continues like he at the pace that he did this year, I think it's a good contract.
It's $6.1 million.
Right.
He's going to score about 30 goals.
Yeah.
Jim Rimmer is still with the San Jose shot. Yes, sir, it is. Maxton is also a great puck stealer. Nurse is main fast, 23 minutes per game, 10 plus goal, scoring defenseman. He said about this. I don't think so. I think last year he scored 9 goals.
What did he have before that?
The year before, he had 12 or 13.
Right. But consistently, he can be a 10 to 15
But again, no, 16.
goal scorer.
So here's what he did: 9, 16, 5, 10, 6, 5, and 3.
He had 3 goals last year?
No, but like 6 years ago. So last year, 9, 16, the year it was the 56 game, like everybody scored everywhere. 5 goals prior to that and 10 goals before that. 41 is his best season 4 years ago by number the point.
Yeah.
So, and in 15 game at the playoff, you have only 2 goals, 6 points only.
Do you think he'll be on Team Canada?
No.
Don't be surprised.
How many times he get killed in the playoff, Nurse?
This year?
How many times he
This
was
year-
more like a yellow cone in the corner?
Yeah, because he was playing on one ankle, Coach. We have to be fair about that.
Backward, he struggled. He's
Because
never
of
been
his
a great.
ankle.
He's never been a great. He's a physical guy. That's
Yes,
what he is.
very much so.
On defensive
He's a
zone,
physical.
he's a really physical guy. But when you go with Team Canada, you don't need that kind of players.
No, you're right.
So that's just my point of view about him. Now again, he's a good defenseman. I can accept that. It's just for me, 9 million point whatever is a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
About this one or that. I think Nurse is able to do much more. I would take Nurse at that number. The cap, if take, is fine. Percentage. Daniel Nurse is better to Hamilton and Zeb Jones. Absolutely right about this one over there. I agree, Pac. Hopefully, he can increase this last year. 9 million, what more could 10 goals a year? Nurse was prudent in the past season, cost them last series. I don't know, but he struggled for sure. But
He was
again,
hurt.
he might maybe play hurt.
He was definitely hurt. He
But
had a
it's
high
better to
ankle
John
injury.
Hamilton. I got it. Asymmetric contract
Yeah.
could be also be the worst as well. Not agree with that.
I don't know. I think this guy's the real deal. Like
60 million
I mean,
penny.
he put 60 goals in this year.
Yeah.
Like, what more can you say?
Yeah. Hamilton would be looking for bounce back that is on the better roster. The Nurse could be slowing down. The prime Renault Hamilton is not very good on defensive zone.
He's brutal.
And that's the reason why Carolina did not keep him. And that's the reason Boston didn't keep him. And that's the reason the Calgary did not keep him.
And he didn't have a great year with New Jersey either.
About this one over there. Matthew's contract is bad, but only because they did not buy more UFA year from him. Evan 7.5 bucks said others would be better off sharing Nurse salary among a few gold players. Terry T is in the house.
Hey, Terry.
Just straight Nurse, and then others are good again. No. Worst round. Kovalchuk for both Devils, a king. That he may be NBA an honorable one too.
Yeah, when you look at Drew Doughty, I mean, 6 years at, what is it, 11 million, I think he's making, and no movement clause. I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, it's definitely, given his age as well, it's definitely not a great contract, and it will not age well either. But, I mean, we're talking Drew Doughty here. I mean, this guy, even though he was hurt, he still put up good numbers this year for LA. And you saw what happened to LA as, losing him and not having him in the playoffs, what it meant.
The problem at him is because too much money, Mr. Top, $11 million too much.
$11 million is too much, yeah.
Yep.
At this stage in his life.
Yeah.
Maybe
Zizek
at
has a
any
bad
stage.
contract $4.5 million, 2 years. Bobby said Krober, Seattle Kraken.
I think he's around $6 million.
Yes.
6 years, $6 million. Too much.
I would say to you, I would give him a break for this year. Like, Seattle Kraken was not a good team, and they struggle a lot. I will wait next season to see what they look like.
Yeah, but Colorado got rid of him for a reason, right?
But they don't spend $6 million for any goalies. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's a bit too much.
Zinnik Gamin, welcome aboard with Zella and Caroline. Cody Sissi.
I don't know what he's making. I forget.
4 years, 3.25.
Oh, okay. Thank you. 4 years, 3.25.
I would say at the
maybe
limit.
the length.
At the limit.
Yeah. At the highest limit. Yeah.
Short contract. Question: is 6.5 for 60 game, 70 goal for the rest 6 point is good?
For 65 games played and 60 points, is it good? Yeah, I think it's good. 65. Are we talking defenseman or forward?
Yeah, I don't know, but if you bring him on 82 points, I gave them about 70 points, 72 points per year. 6.5, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, it's reasonable. Yeah. And if it's a defenseman, it's awesome. Yeah.
What do you think of the Alexandre contract under $5 million for 4 years?
Great. This guy has a huge ceiling still.
Yep.
That's untapped. We saw as soon as he came back into the lineup, it made a huge difference for Buffalo.
Absolutely right. Now, Michael said Seguin make $13 million this year.
Really? That much?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just get with his salary cap, everything like that. So 13.5, but his AAV still at 9.5.
Right.
Marc Bergeron totally unpenned a goalie market by Cloutier will pay Subban a price. This result in Hamilton, Nurse, Jones, all the high leverage contract nego. Seguin body is falling apart.
Yeah.
Chara contract also can be the worst as well. Not really. Corey is like less of $1 million, Corey.
Yeah, right now. He's done right now, but
Terry contract, Kako contract could be still at 2.1. It's only 2 years, will be interesting. What about Robert Leonard?
I think if he's healthy, it's a good contract. I mean, this guy, he's a big goalie. He's relatively flexible. He's got a good glove hand. I just worry about mindset. I worry about health. And at that price, it's a little bit too much for me.
Seguin has lost his love for the game. He showed no intensity because he fell in love. He just got married, So he changed the love of the game for the love of the wife. That's happening instead of that.
It's the only way to go.
Seguin, a Canadian boy or an American?
He's an American.
Alors, Seguin?
No, he's Canadian. Seguin, I think he's Canadian, yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
He's from Canada.
I think he's Canadian.
Brampton, Ontario.
Yeah.
I was looking for the ways. No, Renault, his body, I'll give up many report out there about that. Pillsbury, it's cheap, but is a bomb about this. Villas Vlasic got one, Renault.
Vlasic, yes.
As a bad contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the pain of games lose passion there. Yashin Di Pietro. Plus, the pain on painkiller is not there mentally. Yashin égale Cashin. Matt Murray will be bad if he's true. Ottawa Senator have the trade Yashin because his contract and one of the best trade for the Senator complete still all the time. Suzuki is fine, 61 points, 21 goals, 7.5 for 61 points. Honestly, Michael, it was not a 7.5 yet. He was only at 900,000. He start his contract this year. Mr. Frank Salazar de Cubano.
Hey, Frank. How's it going?
Yeah, absolutely right, Mr. Frank. We talked about this earlier. Their contract will be done at 2023. Wow, what about that one? We forgot that one there. I love it. Diane Phaneuf, 7 year, $50 million.
I know. Especially play the leagues. I mean, that was huge overpayment.
Thinking about Pascal, here's a sport. That's the NHL now. You pay the projection, not past the performance about this one over there. 44 best marchand, Luciano. William, I worry about Kokanemi. 4.9 for 8 years. Can he play second center behind AO with Tracek gone? Your opinion, Mr. William? Mr. ENORTAP, me, I don't talk about Kokanemi. So let me know what you think about his contract.
Well, I'm still waiting for your video to come out about Kokaniemi. You promised me.
It's coming soon.
And you haven't produced it. It's coming soon. It's in the mail, I know. Yeah, I mean, he's done nothing really to merit that kind of money. Not with Montreal, not with Carolina. You can make all the arguments you want, like maybe if he's playing on the first or second line, which I don't see him being on those lines, that he could get more points, but this guy, I doubt he'll ever get anywhere.
It's a really big year for him right now.
It has to be. It has to be for him, right?
Because now he gets his contract 4.8, and then he becomes the second center, and they target him as they believe he should be the best second center for them. So, a big one.
Good luck with that. Good luck. Hopefully, he doesn't keep falling over his own skates.
Corey, the Josh Norris contract is good. The cap should be $100 million to keep the best team together longer. I think something should be said for the player hard, not give up, Leon on the line. The likes RJ, agree. There we go, 40-45. Back contract, Carl Dubas and Brennan Shannon. Have a good day, Ren. What's contract ranger for year overpay? Good night, Corey. Pay players more does not mean they would be more hungry for the Stanley Cup, just my opinion. Barry is proof that you can be a defenseman, lead the league, order on power play point, not get a riskless pay because everyone would. So depend how Bouchard get point.
Yeah, Bouchard will eventually take over that number one spot on the power.
Samuel Girard, nice number plus good term.
Yeah.
Fonction FR5 long term guarantee. 47, Mr. Johnny from Tokyo. Welcome back, Mr. Johnny.
Johnny.
How do you feel about Sergachev deal? At first class look bad, making more Edmund, but I think it would be okay.
He's 9 years at almost $9 million last I checked. And that's starting this year. You know what? I think here's another situation.
No, he started in 2 years.
Oh, in 2 years? Okay.
Yeah.
They extended him this year, right?
No, it's still at 4.8. But he extended this summer, yeah.
Yeah, this summer, yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I know he's only, 24 maybe? 25?
24.
24. So 8 years takes him to 32. I mean, he's going to enter his prime years. It's a little bit too much money, Coach. Even if you look at his statistics, I know that doesn't mean everything, but I mean, sometimes he gets caught up defensively. He's not the greatest defensively. He's not bad by any stretch, but he's also not one of the best defensively.
But my point to you is going to be the number one defenseman for them. Is going to be on his prem when he get paid. Yeah. And he's going to be, and then now he play right defenseman too now.
Yeah.
So but I think for me, if he can
pay him,
if he can bring a bit more offensive side of his game, that will help.
Yeah, then it's worth it. Absolutely. Yeah. If he could do that, then it's worth it.
That's what the money Nurse should get. That's funny. Just kidding. Can't have a bad contract. Zibi Palfi, Jason Allison at the 2000. Don't forget to click on the likes about some. McKinnon has the B1, the best value deal in history.
Yeah, and he'll get his payday. That's for sure. It's very
Mr.
soon.
Ron, welcome aboard. MICHEL bigettem on the open market. More like I will hear. My show is over now. Blackhawks. All right. The cheap and one Chinese tablet. McKinnon will get the highest AAV in the league if he's one shopping, Renault said.
Yeah, this will be an interesting situation with McKinnon's contract coming up at the end of the year because, is he going to test the free agency market? Does he want to stay with Colorado and get paid maximum money? Will he give him a discount just to stay with a good team that's, should be around for a few years with the talent that they have, quite a few years? We'll wait and see.
Will Philippe Danault contract end up a good one for the Kings?
I think it already has, just based on this year alone. And I don't see that reducing too much. He might not score as much this upcoming year, but I think it's a great contract.
What about the Seattle Kraken, about Oliver Buckstrand, Bill Jorkstrand? He still have a 5.5, 5.4, said 5.5, for 4 more years, 27 years old.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good, Stratic. Now, the only thing he's going to get is the defensive zone. They have to get better. But they always been there. 2 years ago, Huberdeau was so bad on defensive zone coverage. Like that line with Barkov, and like 2 years ago, it was like minus something. And if he can improve that side, the guy can score 25 goals, Mr. NHLTAP per year.
Yeah.
I will shoot out. Aaron Ascoli Leonard has been put on the long-term injury reserve. That's possible. Washington, Yashin was been excellent in Russia. If Leonard's going to the long-term against paying so much for that weight, better to pay that weight. Terry said that about this.
I don't think he's going to go on LTIR.
Was Fedorov the highest paid player ever?
No, I don't believe so. No.
Shea Weber, $140 million, but I believe Kovacic was 117, Mr. NHLTAP.
Was he? Yeah. Yeah, Weber I'm aware of. Kovacic I don't remember.
But I remember because we did a question last 2 weeks ago. And Weber was the number 1 and number 2. And the other player was, we don't expect him. And then he got that one over there. Because if you remember, I think Kovacic just signed like 11 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. That's something we have to follow up. It's a good Nick. But yeah. Marc-André Fleury carried Leonard when he was on the Knights, Bobby said. Leonard will have a beat, the ab and the possession, but Flower hold over like a golden retriever. My nose is big. We should always look at the contract by the percentage it take up of the cap, not the amount the cap will go up again in years to come. About this,
yeah, that's true.
And then World Team was fighting injury all year season. About this, Jean Gosby Korean for the cap and the other act together. I agree with no. Machano and being right. Let's make Machano be like size. And we are all good at the end, Mr. NHLTAP, or that one over there. Federer was 14 minutes, was his not Pierre Martin?
I didn't think it was that high. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. To be honest with you.
Mr. NHLTAP, anything you want to add, the best or the worst contract you have on your list?
I mean, is there anybody we missed? Trying to just think.
Anyone you want to mention, like?
I mean, I think on the Flames, the Lindholm contract's a very good one. I think it takes him to the end of 2024, and he's making around just under $5 million. And based on what he did this year, I mean, that's a steal right there. We talked about anybody else we missed. We talked about Dano. I mean, the time that Minnesota had Fiala, that was a good deal too. He was only making $3 million for 2 years, so that was good. They got good value out of that.
I'm looking for Fedorov, Mr. NHLTAP.
How about Braden Point? I think that's a good contract.
Fedorov make $28 million and 97.98.
Because it was end loaded?
I don't know how he did that. So, but he's only make us 96, $80 million on his career, Fedorov, Mr. NHLTAP.
Yeah.
Here we go, Mr. NHLTAP. Pay for the best, Marner, McEnvoy, McDavid, Marchand, Hosey, Fox, Matthews, Eskinen, and Kaprizov are the best contract for the value they bring on the table.
How about Crosby?
Because he not produced a lot of points like them.
He had a good year this year, though.
Yeah, but he's not like a 100 point. So his GSVU is minus. It's
Did
not
you
like
mention Draisaitl?
I'm sorry?
Did you mention Draisaitl?
No, it's not there, Draisaitl.
Oh, okay.
Maybe number 12. Now the worst: Seguin, Jones, Skinner, Vlasic, Nurse, Perenko, Carlson, Werenski, and Ben Chariot.
Werenski, really? I guess based on the production
Last year.
But yeah, I don't think he's in that category.
A long term, I think would be a little bit better about this one over there for
Yeah, absolutely.
about this one over there. Mr. NHLTAP, we go all through this. It's time to go to the quiz. Are you ready to give us tonight a big performance?
I don't know about that. I'm not great with NCAA, but we'll try.
I did not put pressure on you right now, right?
No, never.
Not at all.
I'll be happy if I
You
get
feel
one or
comfortable
two.
about that one over there.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Well, it's a good night when you beat Danny, right?
Okay. That's always a good thing.
Here we go, Mr. NHLTAP. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my God!
it's time for the Frenchy quiz. 5 questions, A to E. The winner is the one that have the most good answer. Are you the one tonight? Tonight it's all about the NCAA. Question number 1 is qualified for me, the easy of the night. So good luck, everybody. Which NCAA player drafted by an NHL team has the most points in NHL? Doug Waite, Phil Kessel, Jonathan Toews, Paul Kariya, or Joe Newendye? Good luck, everybody. Marco. Have a good night, Terry. It'd be funny, Mr. NHLTAP, like Mark Rabinowitz never talk all night, and then he pop up at the quiz, and then he win. All right, Audrey, Marco, Luciano, Chris Duhamel, welcome aboard. Blackhawks, Mark Rabinowitz is right there. Luc Laporson, Renault, Ron King. Thanks so much. And we have Ron King, Bobby, Danny, Steve G. Danny, if you put Mark, that's not a good answer.
Mark.
Which one, Mark? Would like I got you, Mr. NHLTAP.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with
Angelo,
Kessel.
Danny, Pierre
Phil
Martin.
Phil Kessel, B.
B. Renault is switched to E to B, Mr. Renault. The answer to this one, Mr. NHLTAP, is
Oh my God!
Renault, you should stay at E because it's joke you and die, ladies and gentlemen. And Marc Larrabee got it. Luc Lafortune and Danny copy Marc Larrabee. And he got it, of course. Congratulations for the first question of the night. Question number 2, Mr. Nhl'S.
And that was the easy one.
Here we go. Which player NCAA was not drafted first as a force? I apologize. First round pick. Mike Ramsey, Greg Jenny, Drew Stafford, Brent Smolinski, and Dave Christian. Good luck, everybody. RJ, run with King. Thank you. Luciano, welcome back. Thank you. We should be like the Geo Party and the TV on the YouTube channel. Everybody love this. Luc Lafortune, Angelo, I got it. Christian Duhamel, Danny is smart. He wait for the mark to put his answer. Yeah. Bobby Bacadonats. Chris Duhamel, thanks so much, my friend, to be with us tonight. Blackhawks fan, Steve G. We miss a couple of people right now. Everybody is on the hold right now because no Mark put the answer. Pierre Martin. Here we go. During that time, Mr. Nhl'S, you can give us your answer. Jose, thanks so much. Jose, welcome back. Mark Rabinowitz, he been with a B. And I did not get Marco and Danny so far, Mr. Nhl'S. Maybe that will influence you. Marco, go with B like Mark. Danny, he will follow his answer with a B, Mr. Nhl'S. I can promise you that he will put that. Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Nhl'S, are you listening them or you go with your own answer?
I'm going to go with E, Dave Christian.
You know, Danny should listen to you, Mr. Nhl'S.
Oh, my God.
Because the answer is Dave Christian, right. Mr. Nhl'S. You nail it right there. Congratulations about this one over there. And Mr. Nhl'S, do you know the good news?
What's that?
You are the only one that did it.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Well,
so
I knew, I was confident about Ramsey, Craig Jenny, and Smolinski. I wasn't sure about Stafford, though. So
here we go. You got it. That one over there. Damn, Marco, Mark, I'll fire. Question number 3.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
All right. Which team draft the most NCAA player in NHL? The Rangers, the Sabres, the Red Wings, the Canadiens, and the Bruins. Mr. Nhl'S, the difference between all 5 are only 2.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
Oh. It's not like 6 and 14. It's all together. Ron got it. Danny got it. Danny did not wait about Mark. RJ, will like Luc Lafortune, Steve G.
Oh my gosh.
Jose Duarte. Thank you. Chris Duhamel, Bobby Bacadonats. Oh, we don't have anybody. Pierre Martin, welcome back. No Mark, no Marco.
Uh-oh.
Luciano, Angelo, Mr. Nhl'S.
Ah, this is tough.
Marquis Montremblant, bonjour. Mark, I got you. Mark, he missed Marco. And sometimes, Mr. Nhl'S, you can decide which one. So maybe Marco wait for you and give the answer to that.
It's either A, the Rangers, or Buffalo. I'm gonna go with the Rangers.
Mr. Nhl'S with the Rangers.
A.
Danny went by himself. He said about this one, Mr. Nhl'S. Imagine Danny did it by himself. Do you think he got it or not?
What did Danny go with?
He go with the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. NHLTAP.
Oh, no. It's not Montreal.
Oh my God!
It is. Oh my God.
The Montreal Canadiens are the most by 2 on that one over there. Danny, you take the lead with Luc Lafortune, ladies and gentlemen, with 2. And Angelo joined NHLTAP and Marco Larabie, Mr. NHLTAP. We have only 5 people have a good answer on the first 3 questions of the night. Here we go. Question number 4. That's getting harder.
Maybe I'll copy Danny now.
How many NCAA players drafted first round in NHL in the history? 99, 89, 79, 69, 59, Mr. NHLTAP. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Good luck, everybody.
Who knows?
I said to you guys, the 2 last questions are not easy. Now everybody going to copy Danny.
Yeah.
We have no answer, Mr. Angelo, yet. Here we go. RJ. Thanks so much. Whoa, that dropped a lot right now. RJ.
Oh my God.
Look, the 9 is wild. Luke said. Bobby, Ron, Angelo, Steve, Jose, Christian, Luciano. Thanks so much. Blackhawks, Luke, Marco, Mark Rabinowitz would like Danny go with Mark with A. Mr. NHLTAP?
Yeah, I'm going to go with A, 99.
99. We'll wait for anybody else for a mulligan in case. And look like anybody want to answer that.
God!
But, you don't believe it, Mr. NHLTAP?
Is it
We
right or
have
wrong?
only one good answer.
Oh my gosh, 69.
Christian Duhamel is the only one score on that one, ladies and gentlemen. And that
So
gives us, Mr. NHLTAP, only 6 players aboard tonight. So we are far to have a great night
From
overall,
over.
Mr. NHLTAP. Let's move on for the last question of the
I
night.
told
Many
you
people in the
NCAA was
game.
not going to be good for me.
Here we go.
Is this the last one?
How many NCAA players drafted at 20 years old, Mr. NHLTAP, first round per NHL team? Never happened. Only one time. Possible 2. But they maybe go at 3. And finally they say, you know what? We go to draft 4, 20 years old. Good luck, everybody. Ron, I got you. RJ, I got you. So now tap a good answer. You can tie the game if Danny is wrong. Blackhawks, Danny, Ron, Bobby. Pierre Martin says 69. Danny did not pick it up. It was a good. It was the question was for Danny. I don't understand. Jose, Steve would like Chris Duhamel. Chris could tie the game. Pierre Martin, Luc Lafortune, Marco. Marco could tie the game also. Angelo. Mark Rabinowitz.
20
Mark
years
is 04, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we don't tell anybody. Mr. NHLTAP, very important answer this one over there. You could tie the game if Danny or Luc Lafortune is wrong. And I will tell you one thing, Mr. NHLTAP, Danny is having different answer at Luc Lafortune. Yes, Mon Tremblay. Your answer is?
I'm going to go with... I'm going to say 0.
And after you go with 0.
A.
A.
Pure guess.
Oh my God!
If tonight you said Danny is going to win this contest, it would be impossible. And the answer is B. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny T had 3 good answers. Luc Laporcine had 2. Marco come back to try to tie the game with 2, but not good enough. A run with Kings 20 guys have 1 good answer. The winner of the contest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he has 2 good answers by himself, 1 with Mark, but he found a way to win tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny T is the winner.
Way to go, Danny. Would you go out?
Wow. That's a great friends about that Danny. One over there. Congratulations, Danny T, the captain of the Hockey National Show. He deserved this, Mr. ENORTAP, right?
Yeah. He's the captain.
So, last word of the night. What do you think about the worst and the best? How do you feel about the show tonight?
Yeah, it was great. It was great going over some of those contracts, but it wasn't easy. Just thinking about them, there's so many on either side, and I'm sure that this is something that'll continue into the future for sure.
It was great, the people sharing with us, Mr. ENORTAP. And now we announce this publicly tonight for tomorrow night, Mr. ENORTAP. Prediction season 2022 for the Christmas time in July. Tomorrow night, prediction of your trophies and the standing. We're going to take a note of this all night, and we're going to remember this all year long. You could have 3 times on the year we do this, right? And it will be the first time of the year, Mr. ENORTAP. And July, so it'll be interesting to see that. So, again, Mr. ENORTAP, we appreciate your time. Again, we passed the 30-minute overtime tonight, but it's all right. We're hanging there. We have a great time with the people, and they are the reason why we have a great time all together, because those people, Mr. ENORTAP, of course. And before we leave, we ask the people, please don't forget to sharing. Ask the people to subscribe. Ask your friend. Tell to your friend. Push hashtag Code Frenchy, hashtag Hockey Nation Live Show. Until then, Mr. ENORTAP, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Wow, Mr. ENORTAP, it was a great night. Thanks so much again for your participation, Mr. ENORTAP. I can't wait to see you tomorrow night for another show. Until then, my friend, we want to remind everybody, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate your second half or what?
You're 2022.
Thank you so much, Mr. ENORTAP. And of course, everybody, we love you people. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Thank you so much, Mr. ENORTAP. Thank you so much. Have a good night, Danny. Luc Laporcine, Blackhawks Fan 97, Steve G, Angelo, Marco, Bobby Bagadonuts, Danny T, Angelo again, Pierre Martin, Luc Laporcine, Chris Duhamel, Ron with Kings, Mont-Tremblant, William Snyder, late tonight, would like to sleep. Thanks so much, my friend. We want to thank all the insiders of the Hockey National Show tonight. To ENORTAP, Michael in the chat. We have the helper, Mr. RJ Calabro Sport, the moderator, the captain, Danny T, and Adam Berger, and the assistant captain, Jose Duarte. Thanks so much, everybody, for your help tonight. Good night, Luc. Enjoy your vacation, my friend. Bonne nuit, mon Pierre Martin. Thank you so much, Mr. ENORTAP. Very kind of you, my friend.
Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You showed in your own way we would stand and we would fall united. Come on, get a grip now. Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided. Oh, oh, oh.
RJ Calabro. Not a problem, Black Hat. Thanks so much. Mark Rabinowitz. Forgot your name tonight, Mr. Mark. Usually always on the board.